I have never used multi-box, but for the show, we just may use it today. I've got some trivia planned, a whole 5 questions. I know, hold on to your seats. It's about to get real exciting. But before we can get any more close to talking about trivia, we have 3 wonderful guests to talk with. The first one, Madonna called. She said, we're about to get physical, metaphysical with metaphysical. That's our first guest this evening, and he's on the road, so he's number 1. We got to make it quick because he's got to get back to driving. And our second guest this evening, call Lil Wayne because it's a Millie. Millie's going to be on. It's the cuddly kind of Millie, I think, though. I think she used to go by a different name. And some guy with overgrown hair said, hey, I think cuddle me. I don't know about that. So, you know, possibly, we could talk about the rebrand and who's guilty of it. And then our last guest this evening, he's not a top badge. He's not a badge. He is a badge of some sort. I was gonna say he's not a something, but then he's a bottom badge Ryan. Sometimes the puns we gotta think before we speak. Bottom badge Ryan is gonna be on the show as our 3rd guest this evening. And hopefully, I don't know that Metaphysical will be able to do it, but Millie, Ryan, if you two want to stick around, I do have some trivia planned at the end if you want to play. Otherwise, all of us here together, we can play some trivia. If you're down for it, get a little festive, something to talk about at the dinner table tomorrow. Or to your live stream screen. How many of you plan to live stream and ditch dinner? I could never miss a meal. Obviously, we've been over this many times. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suit Up. My name is Chris Casper. I'm your host. We do the show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and today is no different. At this time, please, I'd like to welcome our very first guest of the show, Metaphysical. Now, while we're doing this conversation, I'll see your comments. I'll see your gifts if you feel so generous to gift them. However, I will not acknowledge them. And the reason for that is we're riding on rails. We got a game plan. We've got our fantastic guests. And sometimes we get into some serious conversation like how they don't put gravy on their mashed potatoes. And I'm telling you, when we talk about sensitive subjects and things that controversial, you cannot break the conversation. You got to stay on it. You got to stay on it, right? So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very first guest of the evening. He's getting meta. He's getting physical. Mr. Metaphysical in the building. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, let me just put on my okay? All right.
Go. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
I can. It's either the connection or the box situation. I'm going to say probably the box situation. I like the scarf, though. The scarf's nice.
Thank you so much. You look very dapper.
Thank you very much. Well, Metaphysical, it looks like we may have some sound issues yet again. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And if you want to go on a fantastic monologue, I would appreciate it. So, Metaphysical, welcome to the show. Just to start hot out of the gate, you have a show that you do on this app. Can you tell everyone a little bit about the show, just out of the gate? When is it? What?
So, peace, love, and divine blessings to each and every one of you. My name is Metaphysical, and I am so happy to be here with you in this space. Thank you so much, Chris Casper, for having me here on Suited Up. So I do have a show every Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and the show is called Soul Hour. And it is the best way to start your Monday morning with Monday morning inspiration. We've gone, because it's Soul Hour, we go in so many different directions as the soul goes in so many different directions. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had the soul of a warrior on the Veterans Day week. We have lively discussions about manifestation and metaphysics and just things that just move your life forward in a positive way. So I encourage you to check it out if you're looking for some incredible tools and techniques to get moving in a positive direction.
I like that. And can you help us, for those of who are not experienced, what does it mean to be metaphysical? And when you say spirituality, is it tied to like a religious belief, or is it more with an abstract concept? Help paint that picture for us.
That's actually an amazing question. So that's why my name is Metaphysical, is because I've been drawn to spirituality over religion. I feel like, especially a millennial, and generations after us, they're growing increasingly more spiritual and not religious. And the reason for that is because we largely represent a generation of people that we're connected into the internet. We got so many different things going on, and we're just not really fans of like more conservative systems of thought. So when I think about it, just very simply, I think about religion kind of being
sometimes gets tied to religion. In your case, it's not. And so I was just curious how I guess you distinguish it, or what it means in this sense.
So it's kind of like a free exploration. Like you're free to kind of think, be and exist in ways that are just natural to you, kind of seeking your own understanding of life rather than having any type of rules, any type of dogmatic ideas that are attached to what you to what you understand.
Sure. And life's really thrown you some curveballs. I know that you've gone through a major life experience where you had to relearn to walk. That's due to a double hip replacement. So how did that happen? How did you get in a position where you had to undergo something so extreme?
Whew. So when I was younger, I was not like your typical kid. Like I was kind of crazy. I was all over the place. I did not like school. I constantly, all the time, like I came home with F's and D's all over the place. Like I did not want to go to class, anything like that. And I was a huge jokester, so I would always be cracking jokes. I would be pulling pranks and stuff like that. And so one day I started hobbling. I started hobbling on my leg and everything like that. And everybody thought it was a joke. Even my parents thought it was a joke. And it went on for so long, and my middle school choir teacher said, well, do you want these crutches? And so then when I started hobbling around on these crutches, now my friends and my family, now they were like, Drew, you really found somebody to give you crutches. Now they're really in on the joke. So long story short, my grandparents ended up being like, well, why don't you just go and get it checked out? I mean, what if something really is going on? So we go to the doctor, and I found out that I was diagnosed what is called skipped femoral ephesis, which at some point transformed into avascular necrosis, where the ball of the hip is attached to the femur. And so basically the ball joint of the hip, it fell off the hip and it flattened on both sides. And so with that, it also created a severe scoliosis of the spine. And so there was a period of time where I was kind of crawling on the floor. I couldn't even sit upright enough to be in a wheelchair. So over time, as I had that double hip replacement and I was able to undergo the surgery, I went from being in a hospital bed to being back in a wheelchair, and being from back in a wheelchair to crutches, and then from crutches I was to a walker, then from walker to I was cane. And then one day in the outpatient surgery, I asked my doctor, and I was just like, can I just walk without this thing? And she said, go ahead. And I walked and I ran. And it was kind of like a Forrest Gump moment. It was kind of like a Forrest Gump moment for me or whatnot. So that was kind of in a condensed version of like how I was able to, learn how to walk.
It was almost a situation of like the boy who cried wolf. You were such a jokester, and you were doing so many things that people didn't believe you when it was actually going on. How old were you when this started happening?
So this began when I was 13 years old.
13. And then that Forrest Gump moment when you were able to sprint, about how old were you?
So that was like 14, that was about close to 15.
Wow. So those early teen years, were you ever afraid? Did you ever think, wow, I might not be able to ever walk again?
No. That didn't really. It was definitely hard. It was definitely really challenging. But there was something in my mind that said there was something on me that said that this is gonna be fixed at some point. Because, but even before the two surgeries, they had tried to put a pin in the hip just to get it corrected. So I ended up, in total, I had 4 surgeries. And I went through months of actual physical therapy before it got to the place that I had a double hip replacement. And so my family, like, we had no money to being able to pay for the physical therapy that I had to undergo. So I come from a small town in Bridgeport, West Virginia. And so when I was undergoing all of this physical therapy, and it was discovered that the physical therapy didn't take because the pins didn't work, the physical therapy office ended up paying for the entire thing, you know? So there was something that told me if I could get there, if I could, you know, I knew I could feel that I would be able to get this rectified at some point. So I was always very.
If you're just now joining, everyone, this is Metaphysical. We're on Suited Up. It's your weekly app interview style show. We've got 2 more guests as well, some trivia coming up. Please don't go anywhere. It's especially inspiring to know your story because given that context, you're a dancer and you can move around. I mean, if I could think of something, the one thing that people with a bad hip can't do, it's going to be they can't dance. I mean, when did you pick up dancing? Was this before, after? Was it when you were goofing around?
Yeah, actually, before I had those surgeries and everything, I was actually a gymnast. I could run and do 5, 10 backflips in a row. Dancing, singing, and acting has been a part of me as long as I've known, because I've been a part of musicals, stage plays, operas, and, you know, most recently that's what I do for my work, is I direct them. So, you know, just dancing and, like, you know, I've always kind of worked with the mantra of, like, move the body to free the mind. You know, sometimes we get stagnant in life and different stuff like that. And what's the thing that we got to get up and do is we got to get up and dance, or we got to box, or we got to do something. So when we, you know, access that, it's very healing. And so I continue to dance, even if I'm not the best dancer. It's the one thing that I don't judge myself for, because it's something that is just freeing me and giving me it's giving me more utility in my own body.
And as you've learned these things, it's become something that you've passed on to others, because you're a teacher, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And do you strictly teach in the U.S.? Have you ever gone abroad? What adventures has your teaching career taken you on?
Yeah, so I actually have I have taught here in DC public schools, and I also had an opportunity when I was in undergrad to live for a few months in Nairobi, Kenya, and I taught at the Solidarity Child Rescue Center, which is a small school of students who had these students were they had no parents. They were basically in Kenya, they called them like street children, because they didn't have their mother or their father with them. And so at this school, there was about an enrollment of a little over about 250 of those kids. And so whenever I was there over those 4 months, I had arranged to get a lot of money donated to them. And I spent time with 2 specific classes over the summer of transforming them into a choir. And so towards the end of that time, we had a huge concert. And then I had a committee of people who, you know, made food, and it was a huge celebration. So I still actually have those pictures and everything of my time, you know, with my kids in Nairobi.
Help us understand the picture of what that setting was, because orphanage here in the United States, even, you know, industrialized country, there's issues. You know, they need help, they need donations. I can only begin to imagine the needs that the people over in Kenya have in terms of an orphanage. So, I mean, what was the living condition like? I mean, what tools, what resources did you have?
Well, that's a great question, because I actually didn't have many resources at all. And even where I was teaching, It really taught me about how it really like cemented my experience as being an improviser, because when you don't have many tools and many resources with which to teach, then it makes things significantly more difficult. I know that whenever I was teaching here in the classes in the United States, you walk in nowadays, you have a smart board, you have a projector, you have a laptop, you have desks with which the kids can sit at. You have you can bring water and set it there. You have air conditioning. You have so many different things. All of those things that I listed, I had none of them. So even in teaching like a general music classroom there, I would take some of the water bottles and I would have the kids make sure that they collected them. And whenever they collected them, what we did was we cleaned them out and we would put rice in them or some sort of grain inside of them, and I would let them I would get some type of marker, and they would be able to kind of decorate them themselves. And so that was a way that we were able to kind of be creative about what we could do in the classroom. I also taught them Solfeggio, so they learned a lot of the like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They were able to train in the ear, and with the Solfeggio, it has the I'll show you here. It has like the hand symbols, so it's like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So we worked a lot on that, and we did like call response type things. We also and even though they were in Kenya, like we worked on Kenyan songs, we worked on songs from all over the world that they had never been exposed to, which were also like kind of a cappella. And that would be great. Like I have the like the videos and pictures I probably would have been able to put up here, but yes, the resources were very limited in terms of the classrooms, their materials and everything like that. So you really kind of had the people that worked there had to kind of pave a way out of no way, and that's what we made it happen.
And that story really is kind of in the spirit of what we're on the eve of is Thanksgiving. No matter the origin or the details of the beginning of it, if you want to modernize what it can be about, is just giving thanks, take a moment to pause. You said right there, having air conditioning, having water, a basic necessity to be able to learn. You have to be hydrated, and you didn't even have that. So it's incredible. And now you're back here. You've been teaching. You're in DC. I know that you stay pretty busy. How do you relax? You seem just like someone who's letting the energy out and letting things go. But do you ever just find ways to decompress?
Yeah, I do actually. Decompress a lot. But most of my decompressing actually is not really so much at the end of the day as it is like the beginning. Like I don't know how to, like, I have a really, really strong morning routine that kind of like keeps me really grounded throughout the days. I'm obsessed with yoga. So my days begin with my eyes closed in prayer and in meditation. And then from there, whenever I leave the bed, I go into yoga and then I go into journaling. And that just kind of sets a tone for my day. I realize that, how I begin the day is typically how I'm going to end the day. And so most days end up feeling more relaxed or more mindful based off how I start. Now, if there's some days like today where I had to be up at 6 o'clock to, get on the road and we're driving and everything like that, where I didn't get to really go through all of that, it's still great. It's still a great day, but I always know the difference between, whenever I have to adjust, anything like that.
Sure. And I know you're on the road right now. We've kept you for a little bit. We've talked a little bit about streaming. You have your own show. What's the future hold for you, though? You obviously have your current show. I know you stream consistently. You've built out a great community of people. What can people look forward to come from you?
So what can people look forward to come through streaming? Okay. So, well, I'll give you two things. So currently I have been working on some singles to come out to drop next month for Christmas. I've been working with some producers and the music is super, super, super dope. So please make sure that you favor me. Anybody who favors me here, and also y'all make sure you favorite Chris Casper. But please, so next month I'm gonna be, dropping those singles and everything like that. But like as a streamer, like I've been streaming more often and I want to engage more. And I really feel like, at some point I want to, kind of go for that top badge. I don't know exactly the roads that lead there, all the other kind of stuff or whatever, but I kind of want to do that. But also, I would say, just as a streamer, I want to come up with more ways to engage even outside of my show. One thing for the spring that I've been looking forward to kind of doing is I want to do a musical on the app. I don't know if that's ever been done before. So I want to hold auditions. For like seeing what the Wiz would look like on the app or something like that. So we're going to stay tuned, but I'm going to be putting something together to do a music app.
I love it. Again, everyone, please make sure you're hitting the favorite button on Metaphysical. I know you got to get back to the road, so thank you so much for taking some time. I saw you're talking about your resourcefulness and improvisation skills. It looks like you got a phone for a flashlight beaming up, and then you got your other phone. So, hey, you know what? I'll take it for a great conversation. I'd say it happens. So thank you so much for being on the show again, everyone. Please make sure you're hitting the favorite button on Metaphysical. Any last things you'd like to say before you go?
Thank you so much for having me here on the show. And I guess the last thing I would say is that I'm ready for some turkey, and I'm ready for some greens, and I'm ready for chicken, even though I'm a vegan, okay? I'm a vegan, but I'm ready to eat, okay? Love y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day.
Cheers, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon. You think it'll happen? Will you break? You think you'll have some turkey or chicken?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, he's like, no. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. I love you.
Cheers. That's Metaphysical. Make sure you're hitting the favorite button. They're on the show today. They're having a good time with us. My name's Chris Casper. This is a show we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going on 9:24. We're cruising right along with our great conversations. Make sure you don't go anywhere, because later on today we have some trivia. So if you're in the Thanksgiving spirit, or you want to know a little bit about some of the history of it, we've got some trivia to go over, but not before we talk to Bottom Badge Ryan and our next guest, Millie, who's coming on. So everyone, again, if you drop a gift, if you drop a comment, thank you so much for doing it. You may not see me respond. That's because, this is a featured show, and we've got an agenda, and we want to make sure that out of respect to the conversation, we're able to get through it. But at this time, I would like to highlight a few people, the top 5 people who've gifted so far this evening. Over that TMI Ben, good old friend there, Ben, all these friends I'm thankful for. Kim Possible, good listener. Every Day is Autumn, and Ricky. Is that enough Y's? Probably. Thank you so much to all of you for gifting so far this evening. At this time, though, let's get our second guest coming in the box. She's here, she's feeling good, and she's here to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, our second guest, all the way from Australia, Cuddle Me XO Millie. How's it going?
Oh, hi.
Did you, it sounds like we're doing pretty well for echo, so I'll just keep how it is.
Okay.
Knock on wood. So Cuddle Me, Millie, welcome to the show. I feel like we're overdue for this.
A little bit, yeah, maybe.
A little bit. What
Thanks
time is it for you?
Thanks for having me.
What time is it for you?
No, this is good. This is midday. Midday.
It's midday, so it's just the afternoon. Yes? No?
Yes, midday. Midday.
Yes, midday. Perfect. So you're in Australia, and in Australia, it's currently summertime.
Yes, just about heading to our summer.
Mm-hmm. So what's an Australian summer like? For the people who haven't ever been there, is it what you would expect? Is it blazing hot?
So I'm Queensland, so it's really humid. But it's also our wet season, so lots of rain, storms. We have, that's our big holiday for our school students, so that's when they have like their 6-week break over Christmas. So Christmas for us and New Year's is all over our big holiday, our summer. Lots of beach, lots of barbecues, lots of I don't know, barbecues together with friends, things like that.
Yeah, it's so funny to think of. Are you acquainted with the more, I guess, you could say maybe Western idea of Christmas or New Year's is very snowy and all that.
Yeah, when I was 16, I was in Germany for Christmas one year, so I did a very winter, I did a white Christmas, and that was amazing. Yeah, your echo is really bad.
Oh, is it? Well, let me, thank you. I will mute and unhear. I'll bounce back and forth like this. So help us understand. I know that there's a lot of stereotypes about Australia, you know, that the bugs are big, that it gets overly hot, and that there's kangaroos everywhere. Of all the stereotypes or ideas that you hear people throw, which one would you say is the furthest from reality?
People expecting that we have kangaroos as pets. They're not really a pet as such. They're more of a, we will see kangaroos. It's not hard to go drive past a kangaroo. We do eat kangaroo. That's not a myth. That happens. It's quite gamey. It's not the greatest. Good in a stir fry. As far as the bugs and stuff go, you're not running into wildlife. There's not a crocodile outside your door. There's not huge bugs everywhere or anything like that. You know, you have pest control in your house. You have, you're not running into them everywhere. They will appear. I have had a bird-eating spider, which is one of the biggest spiders, land on my face before, so that wasn't pleasant. But if you don't go looking for them, you don't run into them. Same as the snakes. I mean, I'm in an area where there's a lot of brown snakes, so it can happen. I have gone out to my car and there's been a snake on my wheel well, things like that. But I don't know, you just stay away.
Yeah, I guess if it's just an everyday thing for you. Okay, I won't lean too far into you're from Australia as the whole conversation, but I always think it's interesting just to get the little tidbit for anyone who's not heard. But living in Australia, though, could be a bit of a gamble with what you may run into. But I know in your real life that you have some hobbies that deal with gambling, mainly poker, that you're a poker player. How long have you been doing that, and how did you get into it?
So my family has always, we used to play poker for matchsticks when we were kids, or for 2 and 1 cent coins, because they went obsolete in Australia, the 2 and 1 cent coins. So we used to use them to play poker. But sort of after school, when I was about 18, 19, I started just playing at local pub games and playing games with friends, and just got more into it, started playing at casinos, started playing tournaments. And I very much thoroughly enjoy playing poker. It's something that I find very cathartic and relaxing, and also like taking my friends' money.
That's not too bad if you're cleaning up, if you're winning. I would say so. Do you do it professionally at all, or have you considered doing professionally? Just to kind of do a spoiler alert here, I know that you are around someone in the same residence, I believe, of someone who has that goal. We talked with them on this show. Do you have those same aspirations?
So yes, Daddy, my top gifter, my housemate, my best friend, he's a professional poker player. We both probably play a lot. Look, it's something I could do solely as poker, but I kind of like to be in a lot of pots. So I study, I have a business, and I play poker. So it all builds. But it would be awesome. It would be amazing. My goal is to go play the World Series of Poker in Vegas next year. So I'm hoping to go do that. I'll just win that.
Vegas, yeah, you're like, I kind of play sometimes, but if I were to win the World Series in Vegas next year when I go, I guess that'd be cool. It's all about the steps between, right? You did sneak in there, though, that you're a business owner, and this is something that I was aware of. You own a specific type of business, a matter of the heart. Can you let us know the history of how you got into this type of work and where it stands now?
So I have a business that's predominantly a cleaning business and support worker business, mostly working with disabled clients through the National Disability Scheme. I started out a cleaning business because I was dirt poor broke, and a friend asked me to help her out with some cleaning because she needed to move out. She paid me way under what it should have been, but I bought some equipment and I got started, and I just started cleaning for different people. Then I started putting on staff and employing people, contractors, finding contracts, getting a good reputation, building up and just growing. And then we sort of decided to move into the support worker side of things as well, because just I had clients and I was watching them have people that let them down, or, you know, the staff weren't getting vetoed by the business well enough. And I feel like I would rather help provide people for those clients that I know they're vetoed. I know I've checked them. I know they're going to be good people that actually care about their clients and want to not just turn up for work and get away with what they can, but do the best that they can for the clients. So, you know, I want to find really good people.
And just to clarify here, you said it's a disability and support in a cleaning business. When you say disability, are we talking cognitive? Is it a physical disability? Are you helping people get a fresh start? What's the picture here?
So usually our support workers are the people who go in day to day and help people. You know, they might take them out shopping, or they might help do daily tasks with them, or might do a little bit of household stuff. It could be anything. It really varies, and you could have people in a wheelchair, people who are autistic, people with all kinds of range of disability. It just depends on what people need, and you kind of find the right fit. So it's about finding the staff with the right qualifications. So sometimes you've got high care patients who will need someone with you know, nursing qualifications and things like that. That's a lot different. We tend to go on the lower side of things where it's not so many people with those kind of qualifications, because it's a lot easier to find the staff and match people up that way.
And how would you like to grow this business? Do you like where it's at? Do you see yourself eventually potentially moving on to a new challenge? What's the future of what you're doing currently?
Well, I had a car accident back in April, so I actually wound things down quite a lot, and I haven't been operating at full capacity, but I've sort of reached that point where I don't have as many savings and I have to work more. So I will be growing quite rapidly. Gold, thank you. I will be putting a lot more into my business over the Christmas period, and just setting up to make next year be absolutely massive as far as growth and just building up a bigger client base, more employees, those sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the go-to plan then. Take what you're doing and doing well and build on it. By the way, everyone, if you're just now joining, this is Cuddle Me. She goes by Millie. She's got a couple of different names. For some reason, some guy said Millie one time. But make sure that you're giving her the favorite. Cuddle Me. Let's jump over to app now. I know that you're a Plenty of Fish streamer. Plenty of Fish is known not only for its live streaming, for other services. Were you interested in kind of seeing what fish were in the sea at any point?
So I came back onto Plenty of Fish. I had met my last relationship I'd met off of Plenty of Fish. And I came back onto the app just to sort of see what was out there, have a look around, was bored one evening and thought I'd have a look. Quite quickly, my inbox made me decide that that wasn't really going to be an option. But I just stumbled into a live stream. And I think I made one comment of like, what is this? And then I think I got kicked. And I started a live stream, and I didn't really go into anyone else's live stream for months. Like, I just would jump on and talk to people and have fun. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. It was a good escape and a good way to meet people. And as far as dating goes, it's just not a place I'm at the moment. And it would take something mind-blowingly phenomenal to even consider. But it's definitely, I have seen so many people not necessarily meet the streamer, but people meet each other in streams. People connect, and then people start dating. But it's not necessarily like someone comes into a stream and they meet the streamer. It'll be people in comments, people that interact with each other. I don't know. I just see so many people connect like that, and I think it's really awesome.
It is.
I am, however, marrying Midge.
You are marrying Midge. Hear that, everyone? It leapt right from friendship to marriage. It's perfect. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I wasn't unmuted for 2 seconds there. But no, growing your streaming career. As far as your streaming career goes, tell us what you're actively working on. I know that you have a lot of projects. You said that between streaming and your business that you stay busy. So what are you staying busy with?
Always busy. We do a lot of things in stream. We play games. We have fun nights. Sometimes we're quite content based. A lot of the time we just jump in and whatever's there we go with. And I don't know, we've got good people in there that keep the conversation going. We always find something interesting to do or some way to entertain ourselves. I have an auction coming up. I'm going in Kate Station's auction, which I am not a fan of auctions. I don't love them, but the people have said do it. And I was like, all right, let's give it another go. We are getting very close to 20 million there. I think we have some fives battles coming up. Gold, is that happening? And that should be a lot of fun. Yes, maybe. We've done it before, the fives battle tournament, whatever it was. It was very entertaining.
Well, what's a fives battle? What is a fives battle?
So everyone can only gift fives. So it got run up quite a lot considering it's only fives. They're pretty intense, but it's really good because everyone can participate. So even if they're video watchers, if they've got, a $20 to spend, you can only send about like 5K in one battle. You can't do more than that. Like, we try. You can only go so far. Yeah.
Can only tap the button so quickly. Obviously, streaming business, you're keeping pretty busy. Curious though, what do you do outside the app for fun? I mean, I know that the app can be a fun place and that you do your work and you've got your studying, but if you had a day where you could just have all of that taken care of, what would you say that you like to spend your time doing?
I do like to game a bit. So I play Xbox here and there. I like Ark and Rainbow Six Siege, play some of that with some mates and friends. I just like to go hang out with friends and have company. I don't know, do anything, go shopping, go to movies, go on adventures, and plan my wedding with Medj is predominantly my focus, obviously.
I had no idea that there was brewing, so we might have to notify Pop so they can post it to their Instagram. By the way, everyone, if you've not favorited Cuddle Me, she's our second guest. Don't go anywhere. We still have some trivia left, as well as Bottom Badge Ryan on the show. Cuddle Me, any last things that you would like to talk about, that you're passionate about, that you'd like to go over before we wrap up today?
I don't know about passionate, but I'd just like to say thank you. I absolutely appreciate the amazing support that everyone has. Daddy for Top Badge. That's my best friend, my top gifter. Everyone, you guys are so amazing. We've done so well this year. It's been insane.
I think short but sweet works there. So thank you so much for being on the show again. If you have not hit the favorite, make sure you hit the favorite there. But thank you for being on the show. Had a great time talking with you.
Thanks. And no one liked my name the other way either.
All right, don't go anywhere. Hang on. What do you mean no one liked the name? It was a very straightforward, punchy name. Make the case for Cuddle Me versus Millie.
Okay, so Millie, there's a million Millies on this app. There are so many people called Millie, and it's just, it's just a name. It's nothing. It's not identifiable. No one knows what it is. No one has recognized my name as Millie. They all converted and did it. But everyone, I would go into a stream, they'd be like, I hate this name, change it back. I hate it, it's terrible, it's the worst. Why did it happen? I did blame you predominantly because I felt that was necessary.
I can tell you, just from an informed opinion standpoint, that the words Cuddle Me as the name, I felt like might have some issues, but it's fine. And if people are like, hey, Chris sucks and Millie sucks and we need to go with Cuddle Me, then that's just the move, I guess. So the people have spoken. Cuddle Me is the name, and I am wrong. So thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate all your time.
Thank you very much.
That's Cuddle Me, everyone. Thank you so much for being on the show. Cheers. Cheers. Wow, we were bouncing back and forth. I feel like it feels like an earthquake is going on in this stream at all points. It's just shaking around, having to mute and unmute every 2 seconds. But thanks for bearing with it. My name's Chris. This is your weekly Suited Up show. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m., we bring on 3 guests. They could be some of your favorite streamers or even your newest favorite streamer that you haven't heard of yet. So far on the show, we've had Metaphysical and we have Millie. But please don't go anywhere because we still have Bottom Badge Ryan to talk with. And depending on how things go, we've also got some Thanksgiving fun facts and trivia. So keep it locked right here. We got about 20 minutes left. We do this every single week. Now, if you want to be on this show, if you have a request of someone that you'd like to see on the show, please message Skylight or myself. You can click my name right here. It gives you a direct link to my Instagram. And rumor has it that if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get a second helping of green bean casserole. And if that's not your thing, I don't know if I want you to follow me because that means I can't trust you. Who does not like green bean casserole? Seriously? I love it. It's crunchy, it's savory, it's got like a little squishiness, right? It's a whole smorgasbord. But have you ever microwaved green bean casserole? I have, but mostly because I have issues with liking myself. Only a person who doesn't like themselves microwaves green bean casserole. It's baby food at that point. I don't know. I'm hungry. Thanks for joining, everyone. At this point, though, we're going to bring on our third guest. Before I say anything crazier, please welcome our third guest, the one, the only, the bottom badge going for the Ryan badge. Bottom badge Ryan, welcome to the show. Is he frozen? Nailed it. All right. We'll try that again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our third guest of the evening. He had to make an entrance. Fashionably lit. All the things. It's the last guest, right? Our third guest of the evening, Bottom Badge Ryan. Hello.
Hi, Chris.
It's nice to see you. Is there an echo with you?
A little bit.
Ooh, is it bearable?
It's pretty bearable.
What if I whisper?
That's good.
What if we turn this like into an ASMR interview? Okay. So Ryan, you've been blowing up the leaderboards. I've been keeping my eye on you because you've been doing really well. Ryan, when did you start streaming?
So. Yourself Okay, so I first started streaming back in July of 2020 because a friend of mine was like, hey, it's the middle of COVID, there's nothing to do. Here's this app, it's really fun. So I started streaming, had a hell of a good time, met a ton of really, really cool people, made a lot of really great friends, and streamed for about 9 months, like consistently straight for 9 months. And then March came around, I got a new job and got super busy and ended up taking about 7 months off the app. So I actually just recently came back to streaming after about 7 months off. So October 1st was like my first official day back on the app.
Before we go any further, I'm hearing a little oot in when you're talking. Are you Canadian by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Nailed
it. Yeah.
Good. Born and raised in Canada, I'm guessing?
Yep, I am born and raised in Toronto, Ontario. The Six Gang, yes. Look at all those Canadian flags. Let's go. Yeah, it's pretty fun because I actually don't know too many Canadians on this app. Most of the people I've met have been from the US or Australia or Europe or tons of other places, but not too many Canadians.
Sure. Well, I'm just gonna pop back quickly though. We can talk about Canada in just a sec. I wasn't joking when I said you had hopped on my radar because before I go to sleep, I stay posted up, double chin, phone tucked up, looking at the leaderboards, and I've been seeing your name pop up in a lot of places. How did you go from, I'm going to take a break, to all of a sudden all cylinders firing off? Now you're winning auctions and battles and leaderboard placement. How did you gather so much momentum so quickly?
So I think before, when I was streaming, I got very comfortable in my group of friends. I had about like 10 to 15 friends that I would just hang out with constantly. I would stay in their streams. I would go in their streams. I would help support them with their goals. And we would just kind of circle around and go. And then we'd very rarely meet like new people on the app or like explore new streams and see kind of like what was up outside of our little bubble. When I came back, that was one of the things. A lot of the friends that I had made weren't any longer on the app. So I pretty much had to start from scratch. I pretty much went into as many streams as I could, met as many people as I could, and kind of went from there.
If it works, it works. We'll get it one of these times. Yeah, if it works, it works. And it sounds like it did. I would also do a little sprinkle of charismatic personality. I think you got a little of that going on, a lot of charm. And people seem to like you. It's the Canadian. You're nice. That's probably what it is. Okay. Secret's out, everybody. But outside of streaming, staying super busy, I don't know that I know too much about you, but I hear that you're a fan of soda. Help me understand what that's about.
Yes. So as part of my 7-month break, I decided to get a new job that was working me to the bone. I also decided that during my new job, it would be great to adopt a puppy and get on the dog dad train. So she's sleeping in my lap right now. She's usually a guest star on some of my streams, but this is her. She's a little sleepy, so I won't make her stare at the light too long. But yeah, she's pretty much just been a lot of work ever since I got her, and it's been really rewarding. It's been absolutely so much fun. I was on Pet Profiles the other week with Moore and got to talk a little bit more about soda, and it's been really great, but a lot of work.
To clarify, the dog's name is Soda. How did you land on the name Soda for your French bulldog?
So I was going through names left, right, and center and pretty much tried to come up with an original name that was short, easy to remember, and was kind of cute. Like I didn't want like a name like Cappuccino or I don't know, like Princess or like a dinky little dog name. But I picked the name actually before I got the dog and ended up jumping the gun and getting her tags before I got her. So I knew I was naming the dog Soda. I just needed to find the right dog.
The dog has very much a fit to you. I mean, if you like held up 3 dogs and said pair the dog to the owner, I would say that dog is definitely bottom badge Ryan's. It's very cool. I'm not a dog owner myself, but maybe a French bulldog could be in my future. I don't know. Probably not. If you were to own another pet outside of Soda, being number one, what would the next pet choice be? Would it be another dog, a snake, cat, giraffe even?
If I could, I would probably get another dog. Being in the city, we don't have, like here in Toronto, we don't have a ton of space. So being in an apartment, having big dogs isn't necessarily the easiest, but if I could get another dog, it would definitely be a Doberman, just because I like how they're kind of like the evil villain dogs, and they look just like really menacing. But if you don't get their ears clipped, they're really, really cute and cuddly. So I think it'd be one of those.
I don't know if you said you would clip the ears so the dog's cute. I'm not about that, Ryan. I can't be about that. I'm sorry.
I would not clip the ears because then their ears would be floppy. If you clip it, they have the pointy ears. So I wouldn't clip them because then they have like the big floppy ones and they're just like really, really cute without clipped ears. They're just like even more cute than they would be. But
I did not know. I did not know that people clipped their dog's ears to cute them. Wow. Learning here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suit Up. This is Bottom Badge Ryan, your third guest on the show today. We're just getting started with all of our conversation with him. If you have not hit the favorite, make sure you do. You can catch conversations like this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So Ryan, you have Bottom Badge in your name. And I feel like you're throwing some shade at something. What is that throwing shade at, Mr. Ryan?
So it's funny because I used to go by a different name, and I came back to the app, kind of rebranded myself as Bottom Badge Ryan, and pretty much it was someone had given me the nickname. Shout out to Corey and a few other people, but the bottom badge is kind of like, it's not a top badge, it's not like a boss badge, it's not a like it's not a top streamer, but the more I've been going around to different streams, the more I've been seeing people say like, oh, I've always said I'm a bottom badge, I'm always said I'm this, or like if I'm a top badge, I'm a bottom badge because of like I'm not the like top 10 on the app. So I just thought it was funny because so many people had vocalized it, but nobody had put it into words. And I've gotten so many funny reactions and so many just like, I've just been hit with love with like the amount of people I go into streams and they're like, Bottom Badge Ryan, haha, that's funny. So that's been really nice to see.
As you were talking, you got me to thinking. It's amazing the influence and time and relevance a streamer can have, because the amount of support and the amount of people who have come to the show today to watch you might rival even like some of the top badges, which is funny. So in title only is a statement that can apply, you know, when it says like top badge, well, in title only. So where I'm leading with all of this is, do you feel like anything would change for you if you became a top badge? Do you feel like you would be able to achieve something different, or is there something that you want to accomplish? Do you even care about getting a top badge?
I would love to get a top badge just because it would mark a very specific point in my streaming career. And this is not something that I thought I would ever be doing regularly, especially not like 4 to 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And what I've noticed is there is a little bit of representation of like LGBTQ plus people on the app. However, there is not as much as there could be. So I would love to have kind of a representation of that a little bit more like proud and out loud on the app, and especially just going through like what I've gone through on the app, just meeting people and talking to people and hearing different stories, hearing different things about like everyone's experiences. So it would be like a good safe space for people, especially if you're intimidated by some of the larger streamers to go.
So thank you, Ryan, because now you've cracked open a whole section of conversation of like the real nuts and bolts of like what we can talk about. What do you feel like, I guess, for someone, are you saying that you identify as part of the LGBTQ community? Okay, so do you feel that your experience has been different? Do you feel like there's something you'd like to bring awareness to as someone who's part of that community?
So I definitely would think that on the app, you are not always met with the kindest face. And it's definitely different because I've definitely found my people. I would love to give a shout out to some of the top badges that when I first got on the app, there was quite a few people that I just kind of clicked with because they were part of the community. And like shout out to Gaby, shout out to TMI Ben, Zach, Mej, like everyone there, Free. Sorry if I missed anyone, but there's quite a few people that I was able to click with and really just like find a comfortable space. And it's kind of given me a voice that I can kind of put forward. I've had some people come into my stream and talk about things like I just came out, or I am struggling with coming out, and that's something that I've been really fortunate to have experienced to help someone with or to go through.
In regard to all that, do you have anything that's been a memorable experience or something that has stuck with you in your streaming career so far?
I would definitely say, well, not necessarily part of like the LGBTQ part of things, but I did just have a massive battle royale that I was a part of. And I came in the semifinals. I placed, I think, top 3 or top 4. And I had no idea that I was going to get so much support and get so much recognition, and people showed up. And it wasn't even the same people every day. It was different people, all 3 battles. And it was just absolutely like the most like crazy thing that I've seen.
I think that's where I may have first spotted you, is I saw some screenshots and I was like, who's this person with all this winning? This is cool. So yeah, congratulations there. In terms of shout outs, things that you have coming up in the future, I saw a note, they have some show content that's secret in the works. But if there's one person in this entire network that you should not keep a show idea secret from, I think I know who it is. So, I mean, can you give us some teasers? Can you give us a little sizzle on what some of the ideas or things are that you're working on?
Okay, so we were kind of ironing out, I live with my best friend, so we are working on some ideas. But if you've ever heard of the show Love Island, there is possibly something in the works for that. And then I've also been thinking of some sort of news kind of meet me, because I know there's a celebrity gossip and tea segment that is on the show. However, there is not one for the meet me celebrities and the meet me people. Now, I know you interview a lot of people about people on Meet Me, but the real tea is
Does Bob Bad Ryan like to get in the tea?
I like to listen to it. I don't necessarily like to get into it.
Except for when you want to talk about it for an hour? What? I love it. It's so funny. No, and there can be duplicate concepts. We can save that type of conversation for another time, though. I feel like there's something missing. Have we missed anything important that you wanted to discuss today? Anything that you want to shout out? And by the way, while you're thinking that over, if you've not hit the favorite on Ryan, make sure you do. This is Suit Up. It's an interview style show. So if you're dropping roses and I'm not thanking you, I see you. So does Ryan. Again, hit the favorite button on him, though. Any last things you want to shout out, talk about while you're here?
I want to shout out that I am almost at 5K faves. I think last time I checked, I was about 45 faves away from 5K, which means I can finally apply for a top badge. And so hopefully we will be getting those rest of those faves tonight, if all goes well, and we'll be applying tomorrow. But other than that, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited to be here. And just shout out to everyone who's been supporting me on this journey that Bottom Badge Ryan has taken coming back.
Well, let's get specific, because I'm all about specificity. What would you say to someone? This is your moment. I'm full ability to, you can humble brag as much as you want to. If you had to humble brag and say, hey, right now I'm Bottom Badge Ryan, give me those favorites. Why should someone favorite you so that you can get that 5K? My stream is such a chill zone. It's very, very it's a very safe place. You can come out, you can hang out, you can watch my dog. Like, she's probably more popular than I am. People will come into my stream and be like, where's Soda? She did also just get a coat and a hat. So if you want to see that, come check me out. Make sure you favorite me. And yeah, it's just all good times. It's just like a good yeah. We did it. I think that is a good reason. It doesn't always have to be an extravaganza over the top. I think sometimes having some interconnectivity can be very meaningful. So, Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show. Again, if you have not hit the favorite on Ryan, be sure to. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to stick around for some trivia, I'm going to do some holiday trivia right now. If you want to play and be a part, so let's go for it. Thank you so much for being on the show, though, Ryan. Cheers to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. That was our third and final guest, but please don't go anywhere because today we've got some trivia, some fast facts for the end. So I will be interacting a little bit. I'll be giving you some answers here. But I've got 5 fast facts about the Thanksgiving season and holiday. So if you want to have some things to talk about at the table tomorrow, or whenever you celebrate, or not, maybe on your own stream, stick around because you can get those details coming up in just a sec. Before we can get to that, though, I'd like to give a special shout out and thank you to Ricky, Panda for Life, Classic OG, Joe, and 18 Wheeler for all your gifts and generosity. Seriously, thank you very, very much. And to you for giving those comments and being a part of the show so far. Really do appreciate it. Again, this is Suit Up. We do this every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And this week, we're doing a little bonus trivia. So to start things out, everyone, our first holiday edition question right now. How many calories does the average person eat on Thanksgiving? A, 3,000, B, 3,500, C, 4,000, D, 4,500. A, 3,000, B, 3,500, C, 4,000, D, 4,500. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that you're going to get 4,500 calories potentially tomorrow. The average American, the average person eats 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving. It's crazy. That's so many. That's like 2 days plus, right? Isn't the average supposed to be 2,000? All right. Question number 2. And I'd have someone in the box for this normally, but the echo has just been too bad. Too bad. All right. So number 2. The first Thanksgiving was celebrated either A, in the 1500s, B, in the 1600s, C, in the 1700s, or D, in the 1800s. Which one was it? A, B, C, or D? Was it the 1500s, the 1600s, the 1700s, or the 1800s? I'm seeing a lot of A's. I'm seeing a lot of C's. I can tell you that the first Thanksgiving was celebrated in 1621. So any of you who said B was correct. 1621 was the first Thanksgiving. Yes, the first one. Yeah. All right, here's a really tricky one. Are you ready? This one surprised me. You ready? Which of these was not at the first Thanksgiving? Duck, turkey, eel, or lobster? Duck, turkey, eel, or lobster? Which of those was not served at the first Thanksgiving? A is duck, B is turkey, C is eel, D is lobster. And seriously, this is a funny one. Turkey, B, was not served at the first Thanksgiving. That's right. They had eel and lobster at the first Thanksgiving, but turkey, no way. They even had duck. They had duck. Do any of you serve eel? Who has lobster? Who has the bougiest Thanksgiving, by the way? Does anyone here just really have who's got crab legs, filet mignon? They got lobster tails. Can I get a plate? Can I get a to-go plate, please? I'll even heat it up. I will heat it up in the microwave if you got that at your dinner table. All right, number 4. We'll do this one as the last one today. Last one, everyone. How many pounds of turkey are eaten each Thanksgiving? 300 million pounds, 500 million pounds, 700 million pounds, or 1 billion pounds. How many pounds of turkey? I know you're like, it's in the hundreds of, yeah, it's in the hundreds of millions. Is it 300, 500, or 700 million, or is it a billion? 300, 500, 700, or 1 billion? What's your guess? Well, if you said 500 million, you were wrong. You were wrong. Because it was 700 million. 700 million was correct. 700 million pounds of turkey. That's about what I gained over COVID, almost. So I think I'm okay. I'm okay. Cheers. Everyone, thanks for playing. That's your fast facts for this Thanksgiving holiday. Real quick before we go, my name's Chris Casper. This is Suit Up. We do it every Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Why was I forgetting the day of the week? Because last thing to talk about. As you may know, tomorrow is a holiday. And most of the times people have Friday off. In fact, I can tell you that all of the meat group is closed on Friday. So what about the rundown? Is that going to happen? Yes, I'm still coming on. I'm going to come on. It's my day off, but I like doing it. They were like, are you going to do it? I was like, yeah, I want to do it. So we're still going to do the rundown this Friday. The Friday's going to happen. The Friday's going to happen. Also, the rundown is going to happen on the Friday. That is going to happen. This Friday, at your normally scheduled time, 3 p.m., we'll still be doing the rundown. Come for app announcements, updates, tips and tricks, contest results. You know the deal. Come check it out this Friday, 3 p.m. I'll still be hanging around. And for those of you on the sister apps, I heard a rumor that I will not only be on Meet Me Scout, Plenty of Fish, Zeusk, Tagged, and Moko, and Kick, 3 rundowns. Ooh, that's a lot of rundown time. So I hope to see you there. Cheers, cheers to each of you. I need to stop saying that. What am I saying cheers for? I've got a plastic bottle of water. Are we doing cheers? All right. Anyway, I will see each of you later. My name's Chris. This has been Suited Up. A special thank you to our guests this evening, to Metaphysical, to Millie, and Bottom Bad Drawing. Also, a big shout out to Ricky, Panda for Life, Classic OG, Joe, and that #1 gifter today, 18-wheeler. Special thank you to each of you and to you for watching this episode. Until Friday, everyone, please, no matter if you're spending it alone or with your loved ones, please know that you are loved and that this is a special time. Please, if you need some company, there's always someone hanging around the app to say hello to. So make sure that you spend it with someone either there or here together, no matter near or far. Until Friday, everyone, my name's Chris, and I do really appreciate each of you very much. Until then, stream with respect, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, everyone.